Glad you could join us. These are our top stories. A government senator supports the medicinal use of marijuana. David Estwick promises to speak out on the economy. And West Indies expect bumper revenues from cricket changes. Welcome to Nation News for Wednesday, January the 29th, 2014. I'm Bertram Niles.
You want your loved ones around to celebrate, especially those living far. And with Digicel Top-Up, Dad can help you bring life to the party and be part of the celebration. Ask him to send you Digicel Minutes. Receive free instant additional credit. Stay connected here and there. Ask your family abroad to send Digicel Minutes today.
The message on marijuana should be really use, don't abuse. That is the view of government senator and lawyer Verna De Pisa, who favors cannabis use for medicinal purposes. She told a panel discussion that her stance had been informed by research undertaken for a Master's of Laws degree, as well as her father's battles with glaucoma and Parkinson's disease.
Instead of saying that we should not legalize because of a lack of research, we should actually check and realize that research has been done in the region since the 1970s, since I was a little child, before I even started to go to school. UWI was doing its research, and I'm just talking about the region now. It is okay to take examples from others, but I'm very careful that we stick to what has become a driving principle in Barbados, and that is that we be friends of all and satellites of none, and it's an appropriate season within which to make such a statement. We need to find out for ourselves instead of spouting what others have told us we ought to say.
Watch out for Dr. David Estwick. The Agriculture Minister says he will no longer be keeping silent on the economic future of Barbados, given what's at stake and his own qualifications.
I can no longer sit silent when this debate is raging on and when the outcome of any action may seriously undermine the stability of this country. This is not the time to be big-headed, or this is not the time to close off options. This is the time for innovation, this is the time for creativity, and this is the time that every single option must be evaluated clinically and surgically in the interest of Barbados. And I am going to make my statement very, very soon on what my position is, because I will end on this. I was a man before I got into politics, and I can stay on if I'm out of it. But I can do what I believe I have to do, honestly and diligently, in the interest of Barbados and in the interest of my children and grandchildren to come. Thank you.
Dr. Estwick, a former economic affairs spokesman for the Dems, was speaking after a ceremony at a renovated molasses plant at the Bridgetown port. Prime Minister Frendel Stewart has told the final day of a summit of Caribbean and Latin American leaders in Havana that the region must promote policies aimed at reducing poverty in the region. He said that despite Barbados' high place in the Global Human Development Index, poverty had stubbornly persisted. The main theme of the summit of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean Nations was fighting poverty, inequality, and hunger. Eastern Caribbean nations grouped under the OECS are experiencing their longest ever period of economic stagnation. That grim assessment was delivered on Tuesday night by Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Sir Dwight Venner, in an address to the sub-region on its 2013 economic performance. Growth last year was less than 1%. The lack of unity in St. Lucia's Opposition Workers' Party is hurting their party, a former General Secretary says. Gertrude Georges says current party leader Alan Chasney and newly ousted opposition leader Stevenson King must work together if they want to win the next election.
Well, I am a bit concerned about my party. And it is because of the division and the rambling that goes on in the newspaper, in the public. And I wish that people would put their differences aside and work together, because the name of the party does not, what is happening now does not represent the name of the party.
The West Indies Cricket Board says it expects revenue to rise by 100% over the next 8 years if proposed new governance structure for the game are approved. The controversial principles give more control to England, India and Australia. West Indies will not be affected by the originally proposed two-tier test system. the board said, since they are currently ranked 7th on the ICC ratings. The WICB said the West Indies would now have an opportunity to increase the number of matches and series played annually against higher-ranked opposition. And finally, feminists in Spain have slammed the local government council for organizing a training course aimed at helping women to become better wives by seeing the error of their ways and changing their personalities. The 12-week course in the town of Onda has been branded sexist and degrading. The so-called educational lessons are being promoted in a council-created brochure called The Errors of Women in Loving Relationships. By the way, the course costs €11. That's 30 Barbados dollars. And that's it from me. Nation News for January the 29th. I'm Bertram Niles.